Hello, welcome to Paradox Painting. My name is Danny. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing good. Today we're on painting number 15 of the series. I chose blue and purple because I wanted that really calming, peaceful feel, yet I wanted it to go deep, right? I don't know if I got there or not. You let me know in the comments below if you think I did. Now, welcome to the painting. And this time I've chosen the name Dream Keeper. I think you'll see why if you watch the video all the way to the end. Let's go ahead and get started painting together. We have our 8x10 canvas, and I've got it coated in a white base. And we're going to start with our blues. I feel like just randomly getting some color on the board. So with this, I wanted to have different versions of blue, different colors. And I've got a little bit of phthalo blue that I'm adding to that royal blue. I want to keep all of my colors that I'm adding to the board very close to the center because I plan on pouring them off. And I really feel we'll be left with more of a design. Adding that yellow, you can already see it's blending with the blue and giving us a really beautiful green. So now we're going to start with our purples. So I've got a deep purple and I've got more of a bright lavender. And then we've got a pink, but it's also been mixed with a little bit of that purple. And I'm just doing this random just to get color on the board because I've learned with acrylic pouring paint, it is so unpredictable, I guess that's the word, as to what I'm going to end up with. I just don't have the experience in this style of painting to know. So we're creating our center and I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this, so I'm adding black and then the purples. And I think maybe a little pink too. But will that be too light in the middle of the board? Whoops. Will it matter? I doubt it. We'll add that yellow with the blue, which is already bringing in that beautiful green, taking us right into the blues. And so far, this is our color choices. Again, I'm not sure what I want for the center, if I want it light or dark. I've chosen to go with white, just in case we need to lighten up some of those really dark blues and going into that green. And then we've added that purple for the contrast. Right now it looks like an agate to me, but then, you know, I always think it all looks like an agate. Now we're just going to randomly break this up with some pretty swirls so that we don't end up with large collections and pools of solid one color. But at the same design, at the same time, I want to have a design in a sense just to see if we get that feel. I've got to learn how to preserve it at this point because I should just put it on the wheel when it looks this good and just spread it out and keep this design. But it's always a learning curve, right? Again, I'm choosing to break up certain patterns and at the same time create something pleasing for my center. So I'm very aware of where I'm choosing to draw my fan brush through. Yeah, this is one of the most relaxing things of the style of painting is to, as I call it, doodle. I mean, it's so free-flowing and soothing, satisfying, relaxing. Definitely going to have to learn how to save some of these rather than them turning into a full board, a full covered board, because I like that negative space. And I'm learning how to do my designs. I love that we've added the yellow. The yellow mixing with that blue created a natural organic feel with the green. And I'm going to remember this color choice because it's gorgeous. Maybe we'll remake this again using the same colors and this style, but we'll put it on the wheel. I'm glad we do what we do in this one, but hindsight's always 20/20. It's definitely very pleasing to watch. It's going to change so drastically, though. Like I said, at this point, I'm like, okay, now what do I do? I wonder how it would have dried if I just spread it out a little bit on the wheel. But at least we are covering more of the board, but we are losing our design. I knew we weren't going to get to keep the design, but maybe we will in the future. Maybe we'll figure it out. Spreading the design out on the board, I'm starting to see that yellow pull on that blue, which that happens to be the phthalo blue, has a little bit of green in it. It is creating its own colors, and I am like mesmerized by it. There's a lot on this board that I love. Wow, look at the river of paint. I want to get that center opened up, but I don't want to lose my sides. As always, look at those purples on the left. Oh my gosh. Just ribbons of color. It takes so much control and patience not to just tip that board straight up and let it all pour off at once. I'm adding just a little bit of extra coverage on the corner to get it blowing. And we're going to try to reach out to this corner. Very congested in that area. But I've learned to keep the paint on the board as long as I can. Eventually, you realize it's going to sneak away anyway, so you might as well give in and let it go. So we've done that now. At this point, I did think about this very strongly, about just leaving it just like it is, because it had its own appeal. But I had an idea in my head of what I was hoping to accomplish. But man, that is gorgeous. Definitely the blue, the yellow, and the purple worked extremely well together. I think this is one of my favorite color combinations. I am concerned with the congestion in the center of the board. I'm not liking that, but the rest is incredible. I've got to get to where I can appreciate the negative space. Because right now, having that negative white up there, I think I could live with it very well. And maybe have tipped the board the other way and let the congestion run off there. But in choosing this method, it actually brought the congestion to the center of the board again. And I lost a lot of the purple that I wanted without enough paint on the board to really move the way it was. So now we have to decide what we want to do. But wow, the colors are on the board. We just have to unlock the magic. The struggle is real. How do we get this to go to the very edge? All we have. And my hands are so full of paint. I'm like, what do I do? I don't have a spoon handy. I don't want to grab one of my bottles because I'll have paint all over it. So I'm like, we'll make it work. We'll play in the paint on the table. I'm literally dripping in paint this time, but that's okay. The gloves are washable. That's what they're for. If we ever get this to reach this corner, we'll go from there. And I could have sped this up, but I felt like you needed to feel what we go through to get to where we end up. It literally is like, no, not gonna go. We're gonna keep that little corner the way it is. Okay, let's see, what can we do here? Let's get our board straight. Maybe clean up our hands a little bit. Come back at this with a different thought. Can we blow dry it? Maybe push the paint that way. It's moving so incredibly slow, and there's not enough paint for it to make a difference. So the hot air isn't going to push anything. So I'm like, let's do a straw. So with my breath, I began to see exactly what needed to happen in that congested area. It was blending and it looked like an explosion of bliss. It was very pretty too. I got really comfortable with it. And I've learned a new tool, which was exactly what this board needed. Here are our wet results. And just like that, we've got subtle and tranquil and bliss. It's so soothing and absolutely satisfying to know my breath created these little bursts of delicate lacing. And look at that. We saved some of that beautiful purple. Oh yeah, this is awesome. I love it. It's a dream come true, right? A keeper. We'll call it Dream Keeper. Oh, the yellow and the green, love it. That deep purple. And like I said, that organic explosion of color. It's just really, really amazing. I wish that the camera captured how incredible it looks. Here is our dry results, and you can see how beautifully deep it goes. Yeah, it's like a dream. Okay, let's get into the dry results close up. It held almost every detail perfectly, and I love the breath. It just added to this in so many ways. I always say, every painting has a story to be shared. I want to say thank you so much for the beautiful comments. I read every single one, and let me know, what does this painting inspire you? How does this painting inspire you? If you would like to continue on with me, I have created a playlist with all my favorite paintings right here for you. Or you could watch this one next. I thank you so incredibly much, and I can't wait to paint with you again.